On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, the Winchesters ruin another housekeeper's day.
And we have a failed group smite. Let's do this. Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
And I'm Liz.
And we're going to talk about season 13, episode 2, The Rising Sun. Spelled
with an O, not with a U. So it's a play on words.
Mm-hmm.
It is also the name of the second series of the Supernatural comics. I think that's how they say that. I don't know. I know it was one of the runs of it.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, what have you been up to, Liz?
Publishing books. Which
What? No, that's not a big deal at all.
I don't think it is. So if you want to buy the first season of Lore and More, is now available for sale on Amazon and wherever books are sold. And I will say though, it's probably slightly cheaper on Amazon. I don't like to promote them, but that is the publishing world and how it goes. So especially if I'm trying to do something myself. So it's right now, that's the way it is. But so yeah, you can buy an EPUB book, or you can buy the print book and have real paper in your hands, which is sometimes nice. And you can smell it; it smells like a book.
Yeah, like paper.
It smells like paper. Yep. So that's mainly, I've been dealing with.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, everybody read it and then write me some reviews, and that would be most helpful because that's how you go up in these world, is by having reviews and likes. So, and I don't know, I'll probably do some free book giveaways and things because I have the other ones coming out. So I'll probably give some away.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And beyond that, I've been dealing with cats having surgery, so that's always fun. So successful, and it's just adorable when 20-pound cats get put into tiny little cones, and like the cone doesn't really fit around their head, and it's got Velcro on it, and I feel really sad. Like this thing is like, that cone is like Velcroed to like the biggest, like the last little strand, and still it's kind of like you're kind of squeezing him. He's like, ah, and of course he's like bumping his head into things because he's still, he's still really high from the surgery. Poor kitty.
That's what happens. Poor kitty.
Yeah.
Poor kitty. Oh man.
Yeah. And what about you?
I feel like there's something else, but I don't remember. Oh, the thing I forgot to tell last week is I went and saw Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone at Cosm, and that was really fun. But
I don't know what Cosm is.
There's only 2 in the country. It's like it's not a sphere, but it's like a sphere. It's like the old Omnis, but they build the whole movie into it. It's really cool.
Okay.
Like a background, not the whole movie, but it's like a very I don't want to say interactive, but it kind of is. I don't know, like you're not doing anything. It's just a bigger experience. It's experiential. I don't know, one of those words they would use for it. But it was neat. And then, but yeah, and then I saw, what else? Oh, I went and saw a concert outdoors this weekend. It was in the evening. It was still hot, but it was really fun. And, yeah, I think that's it.
We've gotten, summer is here. It's really hot and it's really humid, and it's kind of oppressive. Like it's still normally I can kind of handle hot, but this is not easy to handle.
No, it's a lot. And then we had some crazy storms rolling through now, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, no, it's definitely pool season, and I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, just rub it in that you can use your pool.
I know. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to pour salt in that wound.
That's okay. Maybe. And it's like, maybe this week, but no, it's going to rain more and probably ruin like all the things that they're trying to do. It'll probably just dump more algae.
Oh, there we go. Well, let's talk about The Rising Sun.
Yes. So The Rising Sun. This was season 13, episode 2. It first aired October 19th, 2017. It was directed by Thomas J. Bright, who we saw last season with Lily Sunder Have Some Regrets and episode 2, Mamma Mia. It was written by the team of Eugene Ross Lemming and Brad Buckner, they did a bunch last season, including the end of the seasons There's Something About Mary. that one. And so they were also responsible for the British invasion. So we can thank them for that one. And so, yeah, they're back to do this. And so here we are in episode 2, and we get our recap. And our recap's not too long this time. It's just the princes of hell. Everybody is dead and gone. The devil's got a kid. Dean wants to kill the kid still and bring him home. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we open at the asylum with Drexel protecting Lucifer's throne.
So why have they moved the throne there? Like, why shouldn't this be back in hell somewhere by now? Like why would they keep this at the same place? So
that's a reasonable question. And we have a drunk demon, and because basically he's convinced that Lucifer's gone, and Drexel's no, he's going to return and he's going to make hell great again. And the lights flicker, the doors bust open, we have a bright light, and in enters the most interesting man in the world. No, I'm just kidding. Not Lucifer either. It's a bearded man in a white suit.
A very white suit.
Yes, and he demands them to their feet because he is Asmodeus. And he has big face scars.
Yeah, and he is the 4th prince of hell, and he is going to rule until Lucifer comes back with his son. But he's going to bring back the fire and brimstone. He doesn't want any of this crap that Crowley put in. And so things are going to go back to the old ways. And he calls forth Drexel and some other minions. And it's kind of like a reality show time where it's like, please step forward. And
very AGT.
Yeah, and we're about to see who's going to get cut and who's going to, who's going to go. But the ones who got called forward, surprising, they're the winners. Everyone else gets killed.
Mm-hmm. And then they get killed and their eyes burn out. And then he takes off his coat and flashes his yellow eye.
Yes, so we got some more yellow eyes. Mm-hmm. And we go to Baby, where Sam is offering to drive. Jack is asleep in the back seat. And Sam is still trying to talk you need some sleep sense into Dean, who is he's just so traumatized by being hurt. He has nothing else to do but be traumatized and want to end the problem.
Yeah, he's just not feeling it. And so Sam wants to start talking feelings. And that is not what Dean is feeling. But Sam does have a point. You haven't slept. It's a lot to process. And Dean's like, no. That's just, we tried the new rules where we bend them, where bad guys aren't so bad. And then we were sure that things would get fixed, but then everybody we care about got hurt. So is this our reverting now on his ethical dilemma? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Dean? I don't know. Anyway, so he's just like, we're starting with the obvious. We're going to fix the problem. And he calls Jack it. And Sam's like, well, the problem was only a problem because, it might be our only shot at saving Mom. And Dean's like, no, Mom's gone. So anyways, so where do we cut to? Apocalypse Land.
Yeah, and in Apocalypse Land, Mary and Lucifer are trudging over some dirt. And Mary says there just isn't a point to this because Lucifer is just going to kill her. And Lucifer counters with the fact that he's got a modicum of intelligence and he needs her alive so he can exchange her for his son. So that's his plan. He's going to exchange Mary for Jack, although he doesn't know Jack is Jack yet, And so she thinks that he couldn't care about saving a child. And he's like, you don't know what the fuck I care about. You don't know me at all. And then a meteor thing flies in and Mary disappears.
Yeah. I was like, is it a meteor? Is it a missile? I don't know. So
I just meteor is the way that.
Yeah. It took me a really long time to come up with the word missile. It was very concerning. It was one of those days where you're like, what is the word? Yeah. So we go back to the asylum. And Drexel is making his report to Asmodeus, which is really hard to say. I want to say Asmodeus so bad.
Yeah.
But basically, there's no trace of Lucifer and no sign of his son. And they are looking for an infant. And that's when Asmodeus yells at them that Jack's not, well, yeah, no, Jack. The son is not an infant. But either way, with Lucifer's gone, he's, going to be the one, when he comes back, he's going to be, if Lucifer doesn't come back, then when the sun comes back, he can be sit on the throne and Asmodeus will be his advisor.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same plan that Dagon had. This is what all the
Mhm.
princes of hell want to do with Jack. They basically want to be his mentor, and I think there was a regent. There's a word for it, like in old feudal times, and when there was monarchies,
Yeah.
and somebody would like it's like you. Well, the king was like 5, and so somebody else would like rule in their place until they
Yeah.
were old enough to do it. So that's what he wants to do.
And
And yeah,
but he's like, and he's also like watching Drexel take all these notes about it. He's like, okay, well, we're gonna, find some. We're still gonna keep trying to find Lucifer too, because if we didn't do that, Lucifer would be pissed. And Asmodeus is gonna explain that he knows what an angry Lucifer can do.
like, you think you know Lucifer? How do you? I know Lucifer. You don't know Lucifer. I know Lucifer for longer. You want me to show you how? Lucifer gave me the shit on my face. That's how much I know Lucifer. I
Cool
let
face
him
scars?
fuck me up, and I'm his little bitch, which is pretty much what he explains,
Pretty
right?
much. Yes.
He says that eons ago he freed the Shadim, who are hell's most savage, and he thought he could train them, but Lucifer forbade it and locked them up, and they marked up his face, and the pain and humiliation forged an eternal bond between them and made him Lucifer's bitch. So I'm going to explain where some of this comes from. This is lore. And according to our, Gospel of Truth Wikipedia, Shadim originate in Jewish mythology. So either they descend from, they have a lot of versions, so buckle up. So either they descend from serpents or from demons in serpent form, which ties them back to the snake in the Garden of Eden.
Mm.
There is another version, however, where they are the offspring of Lilith and Adam, or Lilith and other men. In yet another version, God was making the Shadim on the 6th day, and the Sabbath came, so he had to quit. So he never finished making their bodies. It was also to show everybody that whatever you completed before the Sabbath was considered completed and done. So you don't work on the Sabbath, that's just it. So there's another version where they were beings that tried to wage war against God and were punished, or that they were the offspring of Azazel and Nama. And there's a demon named Nama who fucks Adam alongside Lilith. There's also a human named Nama who seduced men with symbols. I think they mean the demon one.
Not to be confused with Nala and Simba.
Not to be confused with Nala.
Sorry.
So Asmodeus or Asmodeus, it's going to be very hard to say. I can say Asmodeus, actually. I can't say it with that dumb southern accent. So he's pretty famous for a demon, and we have talked about Asmodeus before in passing before, as he is considered the demon of lust and one of the 7 deadly sins. He also appeared in The Devils of Loudun in season 1. Go buy my book and read all about it. So it was a good plug there. All right. So, according to the Encyclopedia of Demons and Demonology by Rosemary Ellen Gilly, he originated in Persian mythology. Then the Hebrews absorbed him into their mythology, as did later Christians. In Islamic culture, Asmodeus is a demon called Sakur. It was Sakhr, which means rock, and he's the main antagonist of the prophet Solomon. So he's the rock, and he's a demon called the Rock, and I just really like that. So he was depicted in the Lesser Key of Solomon as having 3 heads: an ogre, a ram, and a bull, all traditionally horny animals. He also has the feet of a cock, also a horny animal, a serpent's tail, and wings. He is known to ride a dragon and breathe fire. In the Dictionnaire Infernal, he is portrayed as having the breast of a man, a cock leg, a serpent tail, 3 heads, one of a man spitting fire, one of a sheep, one of a bull, and he rides a lion with dragon wings. And I don't know, I must have meant to put something else here. I just says and neck. Oh, I guess it has a dragon's neck, maybe. So that's an interesting thing about So I love the breast of a man. So I guess it just means he has like a man
Pecs.
chest or
He's
something.
got pecs.
Yeah.
I feel
All
like
right.
that's
So
something like a child would like draw, like in one of those games where you have to, each person draws an animal piece.
yeah. Yeah. So within the book of Tobit, oh damn it, I practiced this word in my head earlier. Okay, so within the book of Tobit, a deuterocanonical book of the Bible, Asmodeus is said to have been obsessed with a human named Sarah, and he would kill every man she married the night of their wedding. And she had killed 7 of her husbands, soon to be husbands so far. And
Poor
every so
Sarah.
like, poor Sarah. So every time she's going to get married on the night of their wedding, he shows up and they're in her wedding chamber and kills the man who married her. So she's like a widow 8 times over. So she prays to God. God sends Archangel Raphael, who told her soon to be husband Tobias that he should make an incense out of the heart and liver of a fish. And when Asmodeus appeared in their wedding chamber, the smell repelled him. No shit, because it was incense made of the heart and liver of a fish, and you're burning it. I don't know how sexy time you're gonna have there. Like, ooh, baby, like we
That
got
doesn't sound good.
some fish incense here. Let's get it on. So he fled to Egypt, but Raphael found him and bound him up. And then he comes up in the Testament of Solomon, where he is said to live in the constellation of the Great Bear Ursa Major, through which he plots against newlyweds, makes women hormonal, and ruins the beauty of virgins. Raphael is Asmodeus's arch nemesis in the Testament of Solomon, and his weakness is still the smoked liver and gall of a fish. So that's just his kryptonite. So when he is brought before King Solomon, he tells him he was born of a human mother and an angel father, which would make him a Nephilim.
I would.
It would. He tells Solomon that Solomon's power over the demons is just temporary. His kingdom would eventually be divided, and I think this is an interesting quote. Demons will go out against man and will be worshipped as gods because humans will not know the names of the angels who fought the demons. Ooh, deep. So Asmodeus then admits that he is afraid of water. Solomon has him bound up and flogged to confess what else he was up to. And he confesses all his stuff about like the virgins and the getting the people to commit adultery and all that stuff. So Solomon puts him in iron chains and surrounds him with 10 jars full of water and forces him to make clay vessels for the temple. He's also burning the fish liver and gall to keep his tongue under control. Solomon then uses the power of his ring to compel demons to finish building his temple. After it was done, he boasted to Asmodeus that he couldn't understand how demons could be so powerful if their leader could be so easily bound. This feels like this is a very Crowley Lucifer type thing what's going on. And then he tells him that if Solomon removed his chains and gave him his rings, he could prove how great he was. And then for some reason, Solomon does this and gives him his ring. And then Solomon was flung from Jerusalem into exile while Asmodeus took the throne. Asmodeus threw the ring into the sea, but Solomon's lover, Nama, finds a ring in a fish belly, gives it to Solomon, who regains his powers, zaps back to Jerusalem, and puts Asmodeus in the jar. So, the Dictionary of Demons by Michelle Bellinger cites that the Grimoire of Armadale pairs Asmodeus with Leviathan and says that these two demons are good for teaching the magician about the malice of other demons. But the magician should be careful because they both lie. So you can't trust anything they say, so maybe you don't want to conjure them. So So as Asmodeus is often associated with witchcraft, and he appears in a number of famous grimoires and magic texts, really like this one, in Arthur Edward Waite's book of Black Magic and Pacts from 1910. He is listed as the superintendent of Hell's casinos. I really enjoy thinking about hell having casinos.
I was gonna say, I was like, hell has casinos?
And it just seems, it just reminds me of, in Victorian England where they had all the gaming parlors and stuff. Like, that's what I feel like hell was like. Hell was like the British gaming parlors of the late 1800s. Okay, so since we can never get away from the Golden Dawn on the show, Samuel Mathers of said secret society, in his translation of the sacred magic of Abramelin, the mage, he names him Asmodee and identified him as one of the 8 ruling sub-princes of hell. Now, sub-prince sounds like a category on FetLife to me. I
Yep.
identify as a
Yep.
sub prince.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, according to that book, Asmodeus can make crazy banquets because he has the power to produce food. Now, that I think is an awesome power. If you can make me a charcuterie platter, like whenever I just want something to nosh on, I am down for this. He also has the power to transmute metals and transmogrify people and animals into whatever shapes he wants.
Huh.
Pretty good, right?
That is good.
Yep. In the Janua Magica Reservata, also known as the Keys to the Gateway of Magic, he is a prince residing over the demons in the order Ultores Scalorum, or Revengers of Evil.
Avengers of Evil.
Revengers. Art like so
Yeah.
it's like an Avenger but with an R. So a Revenger. You're doing
That's
revenge,
fun.
but I think it's a really fun thing, and it sounds like a metal band that should have like, or at least my title of my next album, Revengers of Evil. And lastly, in the Malleus Maleficarum, the 1486 edition, he was the demon of lust, with his adversary being Saint John. So, like I said, I think, and we'll come back to this, I think he may be mentioned more than Lucifer in most things. I think he's more famous than that. But I never saw anything in any of the lore about him wearing an ugly ass white suit.
You really hate those white suits.
They have their moments, like a woman in a white suit, not in a white nightgown, could be powerful. But it's to me that is, you're just asking to put ketchup on it.
Or spill your coffee.
Or dirt. Just sit in something. Or get cat hair all over it. Although I have cat hair all over everything I own, so.
Yeah, we have dog hair here, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is the lore behind Asmodeus.
The only way I can remember it is I just want to start singing Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus.
Yep, Asmodeus. Mm-hmm. So we go to the Black Hat Hotel, not the Black Cat, the Black Hat.
Yeah. And Dean's annoyed that they're stopping to sleep, but apparently, according to Sam, he was hallucinating sheep in the road.
I used to hallucinate cows.
In the road?
Yeah, when I get really tired and I was driving, and I'd be like, oh shit, there's a cow. And then like there wouldn't be a cow. I'd just be really tired and need to not be driving.
I hallucinated a person walking out on the road once. So that was terrifying.
Yeah.
It's not good. When you stay up too late and try to, or not sleep at all and just try to drive, it was a bad idea. Bad idea.
Yep. We've learned our lessons. Okay, yes. So go on. So much like then, we stopped and got off the road.
Correct. And Jack thinks the motel room is wonderful. And so Sam's doing wards. Jack's trying to watch Scooby-Doo. Dean makes him stop because Dean's a fucking killjoy. And throws him a Bible.
Yep. And Sam offers to take the couch, but Jack says it's fine and starts to read the Bible. I think it's interesting that Jack needs sleep. Because Cass doesn't need sleep. Yeah, so that is a human. I would feel like, and he has to eat too, right? And so Cass doesn't have to eat. So I feel like that ticks in the team human side.
It's true. Those are good observations. Or maybe he just really wants to eat. Because even if I didn't have to eat, I might want to.
Yeah, he's been, he like, I mean, obviously they're eating Winchester, so he's eating burgers, and I've eaten like 2 burgers in the past week, and I still kind of want another one. I don't know what's going on. I'm just I'm craving like burgers and fries, but anyways. So Jack is going to read the Bible, and so then they all start eating, except Sam, who is spray painting the room. And at this point, I want to know, is the spray paint the most effective? Like, shouldn't you just get a Sharpie?
I don't know. Like, they go those fat Sharpies now.
Get a fat Sharpie. You could have that room done in like 2 minutes.
With like a bingo marker? Wouldn't that work?
With a paint pen. Like, I think anything is more efficient and easier to carry around than a bunch of spray paint cans. Also, he's spray painting. Yeah, and the fumes that you have doing this all inside to this motel.
Yes.
You're permanently marking up this motel and on the windows with all these sigils. And the hotel doesn't notice from the outside that, like, oh my God, there's a bunch of sigils on what the fuck is happening in room 210.
I don't know. It's very odd because we do get a later line about housekeeping, and it's like, well, you think this would be just as much of a concern, but okay.
Yeah, can you imagine housekeeping walking into that room? Like,
I hope they used a fake ID. I mean, not really, but
Of course they did, but
I know. I'm just teasing. Yeah. So they're eating their burger. Well, Dean and Jack start eating burgers, and Sam does join them. But we have a funny scene where Dean's opening his beer, and Jack's mimicking him, and it's really kind of cute.
yeah, he just doesn't know what to do, so he's trying to be just like Dean. And Jack says the Bible mentions his father, and Dean says, yeah, he's got a lot of screen time. And I'm like, no, does he really? Because Lucifer is actually, and this is where your nerd comes in, like Lucifer is only mentioned once in the Bible, and that's in Isaiah. And so he's likely and only like being mentioned as a metaphor to the king of Babylon. He in the New Testament, Lucifer doesn't appear at all, but the devil or Satan is mentioned 30 times. But Lucifer does so like one time in the Bible, and that's just as yeah. So Dean, I just think you need to get your facts straight.
Yeah, you're throwing the Bible to him to read, sir.
And maybe you should pick it up. I'm just, I don't know. So
well,
so Sam tries to explain that his dad is rough around the edges, and Dean tries to explain Satan and God.
Yeah, poorly. Satan bad turned on his father, who was God, and God created everything. Woo! And then God skipped out and left Sam and Dean to fix everything. Yay! But I like Jack's observation that so God's like his grandfather, which is family, and that's good. He did some math pretty quick there, so good for him. But either way, Sam's trying to find out. They're trying to figure out what Jack does and doesn't know, because obviously Kelly taught him a bunch of shit when he was in the womb. So let's figure it out. And they want to know if he can teleport.
Which Kelly would not have taught to them, right?
How the fuck would she teach that? She doesn't know how to teleport.
Yeah, and so Jack doesn't understand the concept of what teleporting is, and so they want to know like how you would get to the other side of this like really fast, and he walks through the door.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but Sam's like, oh, maybe he's more human than we thought. So Dean decides to ask him about his father reaching out to him while he was in Kelly's womb, and Jack has these weird flashbacks about Lucifer when we saw Lucifer telepathically contacting him and red eyes and all that, but he does not say anything about it. And then we hear somebody in the hall. Who's there? Who's coming? And so they open the door and they pull up this person in, and it's Donatello. Hey, Donatello, the prophet. And he's like, hey, is God with you? And they're like, wait, what? No. Why would he be here? So Donatello tries to explain that with God being gone, that it's like missing an appendix. And so whenever he has a moral quandary, he asks himself, what would Mr. Rogers do?
Yeah, so he lives by the Mr. Rogers code, and that's great. And so why are they here? And that's a question we all must ask. But no. What they want to know is why are you in Wyoming? And Donatello thought he had retired, but when God left, but he got knocked off his feet when Jack was born. He got drawn to it. And they tried to explain that he's Lucifer's kid and that Donatello is just, and then tries to explain to Jack that Donatello is a prophet who used to have a direct line. And Donatello can feel up Jack's power, and he thinks it's more like intense waves, which makes Dean then say, well, maybe he's less human than we thought. Oh, so now we've got the ticks on that side. But Donatello tries to explain to Jack that he met Lucifer and this power isn't anything like it. It's not dark. It's not toxic. And so that's one for team, not evil.
Yes. Dean's like, not yet.
Oh,
anyways. So there we go. And then Sam pieces together that if Donatello could find them by tracking this power, then angels can too. So we need to protect Jack. And we go to the is this a tattoo shop? What do you want to call this? I don't even know.
think it's a tattoo shop. It's just like one that you got to from an alley.
Okay. So we go to a tattoo shop in an alley?
Sure.
And they are going to put on...
They're going to give him an anti-possession tattoo, which I don't know why. But
it's a weird one to choose for him.
Yeah, so... Okay. And the tattoo artist is unsure because Jack looks so unsure. Dean's just like, just get this going. And Sam says they are brothers and it's like a family crest. And he pulls his shirt open to show his, which, so like both Diane and I are sporting our anti-possession tattoos tonight, which makes us look like we're just pulling our shirts
We're showing,
open, like
yeah.
are showing off our titties.
Hey,
But I think is a,
you know,
which I mean, it was kind of nice when Jared Padalecki does it too. So I mean, so she, we're like, but I had to ask my friend who is a tattoo artist because I was like, does Jack seem really shirtless to anyone else, like in the scene? And because he's just like, he's so shirtless, and he was like, no, that's normal. If you're getting a chest tattoo, you wouldn't have a shirt on. But it's just, and he was like, maybe it's just a long angle of a shot, and it's just because he looks so young or
I think that's
something.
what
I'm
it
just
is.
like, put a shirt on, like this is too
Why would you
much.
do that? You couldn't do that. It would just get gross.
I know you would, but it just felt really kind of naked, I guess.
He was really naked just an episode ago.
He was. So, all right. So Sam and Dean have another discussion on, is Jack evil? And Dean thinks Sam is way too attached, and Sam thinks that Jack's powers could be used for good.
Mm-hmm. And the tattoo starts. We hear that sweet, sweet sound of the tattoo machine, and the power source blows up and throws the tattoo artist into the wall.
And
And
Dean
Dean,
thinks that's a sign.
yeah, he's mad and asks if Jack did it, and Jack doesn't even know, but he says that hurt. And Dean's gonna give Jack a lecture that sometimes things hurt, you have to man up and deal. And so Jack gives a very thoughtful response.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's just, pain is part of the human experience, and accepting that is part of maturing. And I talk about that shit in therapy all the time as I try to go to accept my life is suffering, life is pain. It's how you know you're alive, and just go with it. That's how I try to make things that are so shitty seem okay.
Well, Sam pulls our tattooist, is what they call it. This person, like we would normally say tattooist, off the floor. And
I just call him the tattoo guy.
yeah, I don't know. Well, he finishes 2 giant chest pieces on this young man with one anti-possession tattoo and to match Sam and Dean, and then a big sigil in the middle of his chest.
Yep. And unfortunately, both of those disappear into his skin immediately, which Dean,
Yes.
of course, thinks is a second sign. Second sign! He's evil! But I'm just like, what? His skin just heals. I don't know what you think that proves.
Yeah.
Outside the tattoo shop, there is a woman with a shopping cart who is watching, and she's a demon.
Oh. So we go back to the motel, and Sam is just like, look, Jack had a reflex. He didn't mean to blow up the tattoo artist equipment. And Dean's like, oh, so it's like if Castiel just was smiting everyone every time he had his teeth cleaned. And I just don't think that's a fair comparison, Dean.
I don't think so, no. But they are just debating the ethics of Jack. And what they don't realize is that, I mean, I guess they do really. Jack is listening, right? And he's just like, what? What the fuck? And Sam argues that Jack might have Lucifer's DNA. So they don't know if that's stronger than Kelly's DNA or if his connection with Cass is stronger. And Sam really thinks that they can teach Jack not to be evil. And Donatello's looking at this as no soul Donatello and as a scientist, and just like, oh, I'm not sure that you can teach someone to be good, like that you could do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dean just loses it and says that Jack is the freaking devil. And Jack teleports, because I would too.
Yeah. Dean's being like, I get the apprehension, but he's a real dick in this episode. That's what I got.
He's being a dick, but now we can answer. We have answered the can Jack teleport question. So
We have answered that.
Now we know that is a yes.
Mm-hmm. And so Jack is crying on the ground in an alley by himself, and he is remembering Kelly telling him that she loves him and that he'll be amazing. And Sam finds him there, and so obviously Jack heard everything they said, so he's upset about it, and he just wanted to be away from it all. So then he was. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, and Jack wants to know why Dean hates him. Oh, and Sam tries to explain Dean is just mixing his emotions, right? And he feels like
Mm-hmm.
it's his job to protect everyone, and it's their job to protect Jack from everyone, but they might have to protect everyone from Jack.
Mm-hmm. And so Jack's like, maybe I'm not worth all of this. He's like, and so Sam tells him that his mom and Castiel, and he does. So
Oh.
they think he's worth it.
So we know Sam is really getting on Team Jack at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, how much he's like trying to play off to Dean that he doesn't care. I really feel like he is going over the line,
Oh,
not
yeah.
over the line, but I mean going over
He's
to that
he's
side.
for
Yeah,
sure on
this
that
is
side.
Team Jack.
Yes.
And so we go to Dean's natural habitat, which is a bar attached to a motel. And the bartender asks Dean if he wants another, and then says, "Oh yeah, I've seen you around. Are you just passing through with your buddies?"
Hmm. And he's like, no, it's my brother and a messed up kid. And there's a conversation about issues with dad. And she's like, oh, the older fella? He's like, no, he's a guy we work with. It's awkward. And so then the waitress talks about how she hated her dad and ran away, but no matter what, she still wanted the old man's approval. And that's just how that goes. And Dean can relate.
Dean said, "Yeah, same Z's." But he turns down another drink, which is not Dean like, and
No.
he's going for a walk. So good for you. So he throws some cash on the table, and then we see a dead bartender behind the bar. And that's not a bartender at all. That's Asmodeus. You sneaky little bastard.
Sneaky, sneaky, but also big bad news. So,
So the fact that he can be anybody that he wants to be, that is not a good thing. So we go back to the Hat Motel.
and Donatello goes in and is talking to Sam because apparently it's the morning ish, and Jack stayed with Donatello because Dean was so fired up, and he's just talking about how, oh, he's an interesting kid. You know how powerful he's gonna be, blah blah blah. So Sam's gonna cite some lore here that Nephilim are more powerful than the angel who sired them.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing they're throwing in here. And Donatello asks some probing questions about Jack's bond or lack thereof with Lucifer. And Sam explains he's more bonded with Kelly and only has a fuzzy idea about Lucifer. And since Kelly was good, maybe Jack can be molded that way.
Yeah. And we go to Apocalypse Land.
Apocalypse Land. And this is also not, I don't like this scene at
No.
all. Mary finds a human.
She does. She runs into a dude. And first, it's, she identifies herself, and he says that she walks like an angel, like she has a stick up her ass. And
I
then,
thought he said that she doesn't walk like an angel.
I thought he did. And he throws holy water on her. And then talks about how he's never seen a female hunter before because apparently there are not many women, period, since the wars started. I think it's an interesting thing we hadn't heard yet. Anyways, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was attacked by a fireball. And he's like, oh, that was an angel. And then he gets real creepy.
Yep, he makes some moves on her, and then they fight. But then he dies when the fist goes through his chest. And I am not sad, but it is Lucifer who did it. And Lucifer punched him through the chest and tells Mary that they need each other. And Mary snarks at Lucifer, who snaps her into pain and then snaps her out of pain.
Yeah, it's not ideal scenario for Mary.
No. And we cut out from Apocalypse Land to our Hat Motel.
Yeah, and Dean is ready to roll. He's got coffee and snacks. Yay, road trip.
I'm assuming there are snacks in that bag. There had to be some sort of like pastry or something, right?
Yeah. And Sam wants to chat first because he wants them on the same page for Jack. And Dean's like, nope, not gonna be on the same page. Sorry. And so Sam really wants to figure this out, but it's just clear that they are not landing on the same page at all about this, no matter what. Because even with mom's gone, and Castiel's gone, if after all of this, we keep losing people we love. We've been down this path before, but we always find a way to fix it. That's his attitude. Sam's got still keeping his optimism somehow in all of this. And He insists that Jack just wants to do the right thing and that he is just scared of who he is and he's scared of Dean. Donatello comes in and he's like, hey, I want to talk about Jack. And this is real weird because he was just there talking about Jack, right?
And he was like, no, I was out getting spicy burritos.
Breakfast burritos.
Spicy breakfast burritos. But they're in Wyoming, so, I mean, how spicy can they be?
It's probably a normal breakfast burrito.
Probably, yeah. With some tomato sauce on it. Yeah, so they go to Jack's room. They find he's gone. And they're like, oh, what was it? Well, was it a shifter? But then Donatello's like, I am a human dowsing rod. So we are going to find which way they went. And Dean's like, all right, we're going to go get the gear. And he's attacked by what we're assuming is a demon. And then they fight. And then they show the windows again. And I get mad about the windows being spray painted with all the sigils. And just a general damage they're doing to this hotel. Yes. And Sam luckily saves the day and he stabs the demon.
Yeah. And they're like, well, shit, I guess the word's out. First angels, now demons. Everybody's going to be after Jack. And so they run to go find Donatello, who's getting his ass kicked in the hallway. And Dean does a pretty impressive angel blade throw straight into this fucking demon's throat.
Yeah, it didn't it went in the right side, it didn't hit him and just bounce off, which would also have been really funny. But no, he made it work and he died.
And this is where they make a comment about housekeeping, I think. And I'm like, that's when you're worried about housekeeping? You dicks.
In the hall? Yeah. So then we go to this field, right? And it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a bunch of busted trees.
Yeah, a lot of trees have been knocked down, but it's also really kind of pretty like flowers. I don't know. It's a big field in Wyoming. Who knows? But our fake Donatello, because we know that Jack's with fake Donatello, is talking about how he's a prophet and about God and that he got a message and that he needs to prepare himself to use his gifts to fulfill his destiny. And then he starts talking about hell and talking about how and Jack's like, that doesn't sound nice. He's like, it's not. It's kind of.
There's no casinos. And he tells him a story. And he basically makes the story to be about there's a bunch of soldiers that are trapped there. And
God soldiers.
Yeah, and we need your help to get them out. And God wants you to set them free. And he tells Jack to do it for God and to focus. And Jack scrunches his face a lot and starts doing it.
Trying real hard to open the earth to go down and let out these soldiers.
Yeah. And so we cut from that to Baby, where Donatello is in the backseat driving, and he senses there is another power with Jack, and it's getting stronger the closer they get to it.
And something about Jasper, Wyoming, and they're like, that feels dark, and it's apparently because Jasper has its own gates of hell.
Damn it, I forgot to check to see if that was real or not. I'll have to check. Maybe it is. So they have their own gates to hell, which we love a good gate to hell. And it's connected to a place for creatures too wicked for the pit to hold.
That might sound like our shitty.
Yeah, it's a good description. And Donatello is just like, turn, Dean, turn. And we cut from there, though, back to Apocalypse Land and a monologuing Lucifer.
Yeah, he's so annoyed that Mary's tired and she's human and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, and then
I did appreciate that it was wimpy little human with wimpy little lungs and wimpy little legs. I appreciated the wimpies. And we get a bunch of tactical angels.
Tactical angels arrive. And one of them said that Lucifer stinks of hell. But they don't believe he's Lucifer because Michael killed Lucifer, so that's impossible. And Lucifer is pissed that that's the truth. He's like, what the fuck, man? So they are going to do a group smiting.
I appreciate they were going to smite all together. So, team, all at once, get ready to smite.
Yeah. Yeah, but then Lucifer snaps his fingers and they all go poof, gone.
More meteors come down and there is one angel emerging. And Lucifer doesn't recognize him at first, but this is the Archangel Michael.
Yes, it is. So we cut from there back to our fake Donatello yelling at Jack, rude, about how that, do it for God still, and trying to make him open the earth. And we see the earth open up and this is a pit forming that is not good looking at all. And so and freaking fake, Jack's eyes are glowing. It's a whole thing. And Jack's very proud of himself as these creepy fucking hands start crawling out of the pit.
Yeah. Something is crawling out of the earth, and baby pulls up just in time, and Sam comes running out and tells Jack to stop. And then Donatello, that's not Donatello.
Then he's like, that's not Donatello. Anyways, but Dean's like, fuck this, and just shoots fake Donatello because he's a little trigger happy these days.
He is, but does nothing.
No, but it turns him into Asmodeus.
And he just starts choking everybody.
But Jack is pissed by this because they're hurting his friends.
Yeah, and as Asmodeus, before this, has given an Aladdin moment, and when he's like, "I can show you the world," but okay, he said, "I can." He
does do that.
He said, "I can give you the world," but whatever. I felt it was very Aladdin. So Jack, yes, you're right. He is upset that Asmodeus is hurting his friends, and Asmodeus just blinks out.
Yeah, he gone, and they can all breathe again, which is good. That's important. So we go back to the Apocalypse Land where Michael is pacing around Lucifer and Mary and asks how it's possible, blah, 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 blah. Lucifer's like, it's an alternate universe, interdimensional travel thing.
Blah, 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 blah. It's her fault.
Yes. So we get, basically they're going to fight. That's what it comes down to a little bit. But Michael's like, no, I'm not going to kill you. I might need you.
So something is going on. Something's happening. In
Lucifer needs Mary and Michael needs Lucifer.
Yeah, so far that's our triangle. And then Mary's like, fuck all of you. And I know I don't want to be here.
No.
And we go back to the bunker where Sam and Dean are drinking beer and talking about Asmodeus. And according to what Sam's reading, that he is the end of the line of the Princes of Hell. So at least there won't be any more after him.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
Maybe? But Dean's like, fine, I'm going to go to bed. And Sam's like, wait a minute. You need to I would like to point out that Jack saved us. And Dean's like, no, it was just like a reflex. Maybe next time he kills us. Like, I don't know, Dean. Anyways, but Dean hears a noise down the hall as he goes to bed.
I hate this scene so much.
I'm not into this at all.
It's so disturbing.
He finds Jack standing in a bedroom, stabbing himself in the chest repeatedly with a knife.
With a butcher knife, too.
A big-ass knife.
Big-ass
kitchen knife.
So he's got all these, like, cuts in his shirt, and I don't like it. And Dean just snaps at him, and Jack wants to know what the hell he is. And he's just worried because he can't control his powers, and he's afraid he's going to hurt somebody.
Yeah, and Dean's like, well, my brother thinks that you can be saved. And Jack's like, well, you don't. And Dean's like, no, I don't. And Jack's like, but what if you're right? He's like, if I'm right and it comes to killing you, I'll be the one to do it. And he leaves with his beer. And I feel like he was trying to be reassuring in some ways. And I also feel like this was not reassuring.
The feels very threatening that I'm going to kill you. I don't feel like that would make me sleep well. But so that's where we leave, and let's talk about some demons and some more demons. And
well, we'll kick off with an angel. So we'll go with Michael, is played by Christian Keys. He's been in episodes of Beauty and the Beast, Legends of Tomorrow, Young and the Restless, and 911. He was Sonny in Medea Goes to Jail, Niles in the series The Family Business, funny enough, and Nathan in The Boys as a regular character. Our Asmodeus, I cannot say it that way, it's so annoying, is played by Jeffrey Vincent Parise. He's been in episodes of CSI, Walker, Texas Ranger, NYPD Blue, Veronica Mars, Days of Our Lives, CSI New York, iZombie, Mad Men, Young and the Restless, Magicians, The Rookie, and more. He's Leroy in LA Noire, the film, and is a reoccurring character as both Carlos and Joe in General Hospital, like almost 100 times. Our Creeper Hunter in the Apocalypse Land is played by Eric Brecker, and he's been in a lot of stuff. True Calling, 4400, Battlestar Galactica, Smallville, Arrow, X-Files, Magicians, Batwoman, Last of Us, Tracker, Virgin River. He's a deputy in the movie Walking Tall. He's sheriff in the movie The Fog. He's Major Reynolds in Stargate SG-1, like all of them, and a commander in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Our angel commander of our little militia of angels is played by Ryan Williams. He's been in episodes of Nikita, Beauty and the Beast, and Supergirl. Our drunk demon, why not, was played by Adil Zaidi. He's been in episodes of Lucifer, The Flash, iZombie, Charmed, and Yellow Jackets. He's an IT tech in 50 Shades Freed, and a recurring character as a nurse in The Good Doctor. He's also done a lot of Hallmark. And our tattooist is played by Mark Sweatman. He's actually done some stunt work, but you've seen him in episodes of Smallville, Fringe, iZombie with Van Helsing, The Imperfects, and Tracker. He's also a reoccurring character named Norval in The Flash. So, a lot of overlap on those. It's kind of fun when I see that.
It is.
People have been in the same things. Well, they're doing a good job at making me intrigued at Jack and making me very annoyed with Dean.
Yeah, the Dean is very frustrating. And
it's a lot.
I mean, I think because all of us can see that you need to not be on this I'm anti-Jack train. And he's so pig-headed about it.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary. And like, I'm not saying to just trust blindly. Like, come on now, you're allowed to be like protect, like a little bit of like standoffish about it. But it's like, nope, we're fucking killing him. Like that attitude's like exhausting.
It's a little much, right? And not even to like think about like how he could possibly help with Mary, just automatically say that's out of the question. She's just gone. We're not even gonna try.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're just pouting. And I feel like he's, Dean, the inner, 6-year-old again.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think that's just a frustrating part of this.
Like that he's the man baby, not the actual celestial man baby.
Right.
Who knew? I told you there was going to be a man baby this season. You just didn't know it was going to be Dean.
No, I did not. I just assumed it was Jack from the start. And Asmodeus is slightly terrifying, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, it's the white suit that just does it for me. Like I can't. There's no way I could like you.
Really?
You look like you need to have a mint julep and be bossing, like, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me.
I think it's kind of hot. Well, I don't know. I mean, hey, it's interesting. It's interesting.
There you go. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I don't know.
We each have our own. All right.
Yeah, Apocalypse Land is weird as shit, though, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, the tone is the color, it's very purgatory-like in its filming.
Yes.
I do appreciate the different demons we get there, because you can see like their body is flying around. I appreciate a horny demon. This is kind of nice, and the tactical angels are funny. They just, like, oh, we're all going to, right, like the smiting as a team. Like, was pretty funny.
Ready, aim, smite.
Yeah. Yeah, beyond that, I mean, it's poor Mary stuck with Lucifer as, who, like, this is the buddy movie that she didn't know she was going to have. The road trip movie, Mary and Lucifer.
And then when she does get away, she ends up needing him anyways. Ew.
That's sad. Cool.
Yeah. Where did they just leave Donatello? That's the other thing. Is he just like, what happened? He's just not there.
Yeah, I guess they dropped him off somewhere because Donatello just showed up.
He just showed up.
So he did just show up. I wonder if there was a deleted scene of them saying goodbye that I missed out, but
I don't know. Maybe he's already crashed out at the bunker. Who knows? Maybe he's there too.
Who knows? He could be there too. All right. Well, where in the world is Donatello? We'll find out next time on Devil's Trap Podcast. Cheers, jerk.
Cheers, bitch.